I've been working in fire suppression for 25 years and just the fires just keep getting worse and worse. And so it's like, well, obviously what we're doing is not working. Just in the last 3 years, we've had pretty large fires on both sides of this where we're standing. We know there's gonna be more fires in the future, and that we'll have to fight them by cutting brush or doing prescribed fires or other things to manage this vegetation you see.
In forestry, our preference is to get in there before a fire burns the stand down and make it healthier, make it resist the next fire. Then if a fire does burn, sometimes we're there to advise the firefighters of the special resources in the area. And then we do a lot of work after a fire as a forester. That's when we really have to look at removing hazard trees, and then we plant the appropriate species so that they grow up and become the next forest.
Developing sensor and drone systems that allow them to look at the conditions that cause wildfires and help to mitigate wildfires when they start. This is the kind of equipment that is going to revolutionize the way we fight fires, and it's going to require this entire new generation of people to pilot these things.
The future of forest jobs is going to be huge. I mean, here we have millions of acres that burned in California this year alone. One burn scar was 900 and something thousand acres. There's going to be a whole bunch of jobs that are going to be needed. Earthworks, working with heavy equipment like you see behind me, to shape the landscape, to be able to better hold water and to create better life systems. Erosion control is probably one of the biggest fields that's going to start to grow in the next couple of years because we're seeing all the damage from these fires. This is something we've never seen before.
For forestry, the best place to start is to be a forestry technician. And that's where I was early in my career, and that's where you're out in the field all the time. And you're doing a lot of tree measurements, you're laying out treatment units, sometimes you're inspecting logging.
Yeah, so I mean, we do everything from, 100% on-the-job training of people with high school degrees. Maybe they start off running a chainsaw, or maybe they start off just doing forestry survey work. We're basically giving them the training they need, in that first week to get started, and then adding skills as we work through the year, to hiring people with specialized college degrees, but who don't yet have field experience. So, wildlife biologists, foresters, fisheries biologists, archaeologists, sort of just getting their first job and their first sort of, maybe it's just a summer, seasonal job in the field, or maybe it's coming on in a longer, full-time, permanent position.
So another big hiring challenge is in the logging industry. To do the felling of the trees, the heavy equipment operators. The mills are having a really hard time finding folks to work in mills. And those jobs are actually amongst the best paying jobs that you don't have to have an education for. So if school isn't just right for you and you still want to be in the woods, there's an opportunity there.
Firefighting is such a broad thing. You can go from driving on a fire engine in the city of Chico to jumping out of a plane that's a smoke jumper in a helicopter. And then even you can go into prevention, or you can go into medical. Like, there's just so many things that you can do. We're seeing more and more catastrophic fires that are devastating communities. These fires are so mega that we can't get enough people on the line to help us. And this is a great time to be involved in helping that out and helping your own community that you could live in, and you could be a part of protecting your own house. I was a part of that this last year. The fire bumped in the area that I live in, and we were able to be a part of helping protect that, which is a really cool thing to do.
The reality is that you'll be choosing a career where you're making a difference. And so, You know, even if there is a catastrophic fire around your community and your job becomes going to help clean up and rebuild and recover, that's fulfilling work. You know, we're not going to stop all catastrophic fires. That just means that those same professionals, you know, are going to be there to pick up the pieces and put it back together and rebuild, and that's fulfilling work. It's meaningful work.